Hey guys, off a day. Dashing Maverick, I don't know if you're still there, but thank you for being the first. Oh, okay. Let me restart that. Dashing Maverick, I don't know if you're still there or not, but thank you for being the first. You got here before I did. But if you are just now joining the live, thank you for doing so. But make sure say hi. You know, if this is your first time to my channel, tell me where you're coming in from, and that way I can give you a quick shout out. And also, don't forget to smash that like button. Can you guys hear me? I can't always, oh, no worries, Denise, but thank you so much still for being here. Can you hear me though? I just want to make sure my microphone is actually working this time. I know I had some issues the other day when I tried to go live. Hey, Gig Gal, thank you so much for joining. All right, so I was just giving the thumbs up that audio is working because I actually got my little fuzzy microphone right here. I'm here, okay. So Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty much like our weekend for us. We tend to work Wednesday to Sunday, but we also tend to have, you know, for our family gatherings take place during the weekend, either on a Saturday or if it's for a special event like this weekend, it's Mother's Day, so we're not working on Sunday. But our work week tends to have 5 days. We try to get in 5 days, and especially with an upcoming trip towards the end of this month for our anniversary. We're being, I don't know if anybody has heard of this. I still can't remember what state is it. What state is it in? In Arkansas. Have you guys ever heard of a diamond mine? I mean, my birthday's in April, so, you know, diamond is definitely my best friend. But that's where we're being treated to for a quick getaway with the hubby's mom and sister. And I never heard of this, but basically whatever you find, you get to keep. So I'm really looking forward to it. But we also got to work our butt off because those are days that we're not going to be working. And we got to make that money. Again, if you're just joining the live, thank you so much for doing so. Make sure you say hi, where you're watching from, if this is your first time joining my channel. I'd love to give you a shout out. But the other reason why you're going to start seeing, especially if you are somewhat, whether you are a full-time person to my channel or part-time to my channel or new, I do plan on going live at least once a week. And most of the time, if I can help it, is going to be on Tuesday. And kind of like giving it a Tuesday Talks topic of the day. And it'll be whatever I don't know what the topic of the day is going to be. I guess most of the time, really, it's going to be about gig work. but it could be, about trips that I've taken or will take, pretty much anything. And I'll even take suggestions on what type of topic to talk about. But yeah, moving forward, kind of like, what is my market? Oh, if this is your first time, oh, sure. So I am north of Austin. I live in Georgetown. And we work this area, but we also travel outside of our zone. Hey, Sheila, thank you so much for joining. That's okay, Gigi. I don't know if I was typing in your live, that's how I would list it as, Gig Gal, but it's just saying Gigi. So you got to show your nails when you're done. I guess you'll probably show it the next time when you go live. Is Maverick still here? I know he was the first one to pop in even before I went live. So I don't know if he's still here or not. But he got to claim that he was first. So again, if you're just joining the live, make sure you say hi. If it's your first time to my channel, tell me where you're watching from. This past weekend, if you didn't get a catch of it, I did go live at an event that was in honor of Asian American Pacific Islander event or Heritage Month. And I think one of the, someone that was watching the channel, I forgot where he said he was from, but he wasn't stateside, that's for sure. He was out of country. So that was pretty awesome. But that is my goal, to try and do one live, once a week, typically on Tuesday, or Tuesday talks. Just about any topic that I can think about, or any suggestions that I get. And I might do another one. It might just be a random after a shift, during a shift. Most of the time, as much as I would love to go live in during a shift, is that because we both work off our phones. And so most of the time there's not even, I don't have an extra phone to be able to do a live from. You need some mods so you don't get bombarded with trolls. That would be nice. I don't know how to set a mod. But I will after this one. I didn't get a chance to set it up before doing this live. Thank you, Sheila, to do that. What was it called again? The Nightbot. Does that one control that too? Because I'm not familiar with that one. Does that help, or does it actually have to be someone who's participating in the live that becomes the moderator? Because I started to look at it the other day, but I never followed through with setting up an account with Nightbot. A name in the chat. You will get a pop-up to appoint mods. Okay, perfect. I definitely will have to get that set up. So moving forward, when I go live, I'll have that available. I mean, at least for the time being, I haven't had a large viewing audience to my previous lives. So I haven't really had that issue yet with trolls. So we'll see. I mean, when it comes to my, will help with moderating too. Hey, Maverick. Nice to see you again. I know you popped in saying you were first, and I don't know if you heard me when I said it because you beat me. beat me to it. But greetings from Minnesota. Hey, Kev. Thank you for joining. But it looks like, I think so far from some of the names that I've seen pop up in the chat, that most of us here are gig drivers. Are we not? Which is kind of perfect because, no, sorry, I was an hour early, so I had left for a bit. Oh, okay. Then your time difference, I don't know, are you Central Zone? Huh? Central Time? Thank you, Sheila, for that. Be my cheerleader tonight. Oh, you're just a wannabe? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's right. Oh, Texas. All right. Are you in the area of Sheila? More on the east? Or are you central area, like closer to Austin, like I am? I'm just north of Austin in Georgetown. But the reason why, too, that I kind of brought it up when I'm noticing a lot of the names in the chat is because I wanted to ask. Ah, awesome. You can include me in that. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, how many? You're in Corpus Christi. Oh, okay. I've only been out there to vacation a couple of times, to Corpus Christi. But how many of you guys actually travel outside of your home zone, basically? When I first started last year, if you haven't seen any of my previous lives, I kind of talked about that, but or videos, is that I mainly stayed in the home zone at that point. And the first time we actually traveled outside of our normal zone was when we drove to South Carolina and we tried it out there. So I definitely was outside of our zone. And the crazy thing was, and I even took some screenshots of it, was tier system hit Houston market today. I didn't dash though. Yeah, I only dash, once in a while now, unless I stay in my home zone. I know I can get some, I'll be able to do, get some orders on DoorDash, but in Killeen, where we travel to work on Spark, it doesn't work as well out. That zone for us is probably the best when it comes to Spark. Here in our home zone, I pretty much get everything else but Spark, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't like apartment areas. We both don't like apartment areas. But what I was saying was, on our trip out to South Carolina, because we drove, I would be randomly turning on the apps for DoorDash, for Uber Eats, because I wanted to know for sure, what apps I could travel with. So I'd be turning it on. I was like, oh, look at this area. It's pretty, it'd be glowing red. I said, okay, so this is showing me that I'm able to Dash or Uber Eats here, so I know for sure I can travel. The same thing with Instacart or Spark. I'd be checking out the zones, and I'd be able to see those zones and the hot zones. So that told me, what apps I can travel with. Zone South is okay. I have dashed in that zone before, but I prefer Cypress because I know where everything is. Yes. And the only reason too, Killeen works for us is because I live there. I've lived there before. I still have family there. I even graduated from high school there. So I know that area. just as much as I know my home area. I moved from Portland, which is just over the bridge from Corpus, out to San Diego, which is on the other side of Corpus. Okay, I have to ask, what does that mean, Maverick? What is that works? That works, Maverick. But what does that mean with the honey hole? It's crazy sometimes because when I go and support the other gig drivers, especially if they go live and I chime in, or if I'm just watching the video and the chat, and I'll see some of the lingo pop up, and I'm like, what? What does that mean? And one of them, it was in reference to DoorDash, and they just kept saying, you know, are you on EO2 or what was it? I'm sorry, EBT or EBO. And I was like, what? What are they talking about? I know they're gig drivers. And I was like, it was just going off, going over the top of my head. I had no idea. It did take me a moment to understand. Earn by time, earn by offer, which goes to show that I don't do DoorDash nowhere near as often as I used to last year. It's a small town with an abundant amount of restaurants. Little miles to drive so you can do 4 deliveries an hour. Oh, yeah. Wow. That is pretty good. Georgetown used to be like that. It'd be one of those towns to where, you know, you're driving by and don't blink because you might miss it. Not anymore. I think it was either earlier this year or sometime last year, Georgetown actually made a list of one of the biggest growing cities in the US. And they ain't kidding. Not just, you know, length, you know, when you're driving through the main roads, but the width. So it's crazy. That's one of the downsides about working my home zone, is that you're going to, you know, the zone, it's so wide that your miles are going to range from, less than a mile. Those are really awesome, to, I think it's 13 miles. Thank you, Sheila, for being my cheerleader. Yes, exactly. Unless they try to send you to the town next over. And that's the crazy thing, even though how big Georgetown is, I mean, the little areas that are just outside of it, because 6 miles can take you out of town, you know, 10 miles. That's why, and especially last year, you know, before we started doing this more full time, I was watching a lot of other gig tubers and talking about cherry picking, you know, saying that's, you know, looked down on, you know, but you have to do what makes sense for you. You don't want to take a $5 offer for 3 or 4 miles, because, you know, that's going to end up taking you, depending on where you're at. You know, if it's all highway, that's one thing. But if you're driving in town, 3 miles can take you 7 to 10 minutes easy. No, that's what you meant. That's why I was like, what are you talking about, Sheila? Okay. Hey, when I get orders in Cypress, send me to Jersey Village. And it's all apartments. Yeah. I mean, I think here in Georgetown for sure, when we see apartments for delivery, we know for sure they're apartments and not duplexes or quadplexes. But especially when you know the order, if you know Instacart or Spark, you know, any of the shopping orders, to where you're going to be carrying anywhere from, you know, 1 bag to tote full of, groceries or items. It gives you a workout. And especially those apartment buildings that have 4 stories but no elevator. And then you find out some of these apartments, oh, they do have an elevator. But all that time, months and months of, walking up to the 3rd floor, come to find out there's an elevator. We're like, when did that happen? I didn't see anything, especially getting offers when the person is on the 2nd or 3rd floor. No mention whatsoever. Oh, you can just take the elevator. Because that happened really recently. They were on the 3rd floor, and in their notes, it said that we could take the elevator, and we're familiar with the apartments. And we were like, wait, what? There's no elevator there. So we're like, maybe it's old notes. They moved or something like that, and it's old notes from where they used to live. Yep, and lo and behold, we get there. Before I start grabbing the bags, I go straight for the stairs, and I look, and just past the stairs, there's an elevator. Are you kidding me? But that's okay. Good exercise, right? How far is Georgetown from Cedar Park? Depending where on Cedar Park, 20 minutes. My brother-in-law lives out that way, so about actually closer to 30 minutes for us to get to him, and he's in Cedar Park, or he's borderline Austin. Well, that's pretty cool. So who knows? Maybe I've delivered to her if she uses any of the services. Hey, if you're just now popping in, I can never rely on that count on how many people are actually watching the live. So if you were just joining, thank you so much for doing so. But make sure you say hi. If it's your first time to my channel, tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know because I'm nosy like that. 2 words, Island Girl, Round Rock Donuts. Okay, Round Rock Donuts. I believe that's the one. Hey Pedro, thank you so much for joining my channel. If this is your first time, thank you. St. Louis in the house. But if it's that Round Rock Donut place, is it the one that has the giant donut? The one in Round Rock? My husband and I have never been there, but when we travel through Austin, we always stop there. They have the best donuts. So it is the one, Maverick, that you're talking about, that has the giant donut. But if it is, we've never been there. My husband and I have never tried the place. But my husband's older brother, when they come into town from Oklahoma, that has been one of the places that they've stopped at. And yeah, they showed us it's huge, crazy. So, I don't know. I'd be too scared to drive over there because I'd be like, yeah, let's try it. Maybe if we go as a group, because we can all take a bite out of it. Huh? Yeah, I mentioned how they showed us how big. Yeah, like I said, the only way we'd order that is if we go there as a group. I thought you meant a giant donut. Oh, no, an actual giant donut that you can eat. We'd have to go there as a group, no less than 4 people for that giant size donut, because like I said, my brother-in-law, they brought it home to show us. And I think they had already started to eat it before they even got home. But even from what was left, it was humongous. But their line is like really? I don't remember if that's what they said. I don't know if you saw that comment. They're saying, Maverick was saying that it's, hey, Sheila. I'm sorry, wrong name. Sorry. Hey, Becca. They're saying that no worries. I'm just glad that you're here. Maverick was saying that the line there is like Chick-fil-A. And Chick-fil-A, what's up with that restaurant? I don't get it. My sister used to work there and I used to ask her. I was like, what? I mean, seriously, what are you guys putting in the food that makes people just want to get, wait in line forever in the drive-through or, inside? But I mean, she used to work for Chick-fil-A, I think 5-6 years or something like that in Colorado. And it was same out there too. It's not fun when you have to go to Chick-fil-A for a delivery to do a pickup there in the middle of lunch, because it's pretty crazy. Um, and in case you guys didn't see that or not, I did also finally upload my most recent edited video, which was pretty much just detailing how we did for the rest of the week from April. Yeah, I'm way behind on I might just skip the rest of April and just jump straight into May's. You start your landscape business today? Going great. Just wanted to check out this creator. Thanks to Gig. Yeah. Thank you, Gigi, for bringing him in. Hey, Mike Hoffaday. Yeah, if you're wondering about the poster behind me, especially if you are brand new to my channel, this is where I'm from. Island girl in the house. For one last delivery, it'll be here Monday the 13th. That is still pretty awesome, Sheila. Why do I keep trying to call you Sheila? Becca. But I made the flyers already and have most everything set up. Are you gonna, I don't know if you've shown it on any of your recent videos, but you should show it on your next short or something on what your flyer looks like. But the other, even though I, did grow up on Guam, this month it's Asian American Pacific Islander month. So even though I've branded myself this, I don't know if you can see that. It's a latte stone, and yes, it's upside down. I'll be wearing different kind of flowers in my hair too, just to pay homage. Just don't want it to be too confusing. Sheila's going to be like, no, that's my name. I'm the only Sheila here. Hey, Pedro, I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, or same for you, Gigi, on what is your longest shift that you guys have worked, or anybody else. That's open to everybody. What is the longest shift you have worked in one day? Because I know for me, and especially with my husband, thank you. I've got this blue one. I've got this blue one. I've got a white one. I've got a purple one. I should have gotten the pink one, but I didn't. I've lost a lot of my flowers. 7 hours. And that was on the bike? Becca, that was on the bike? Okay, so you're not the only 6 a 6 a.m. to a little after midnight during a gig war against to see who could make 1,000. Oh boy. That, oh my gosh, Maverick, how was that shift? I can't even imagine. And Becca, that you go, girl. If you're able to do 7 hours on the bike, I mean, I know it's an electric bike, but it sounds like you're still pedaling when I've watched your videos. My behind would start hurting for that long. I don't work long shifts, so my longest has probably only been 8 hours. 8 hours is still pretty long. I mean, especially if that's the active hours. I know there are times when my husband and I, we'd be out from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., but active hours would probably be closer to, what is that? That was 12 hours, probably 10 hours, because we do, take our breaks. We take our lunch breaks or a dinner break or something like that. But even sitting in the car, yes. I mean, especially, when you go traveling and you don't get out to do anything for an hour or so, when you're doing that all day, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, that still takes a toll on your butt and your legs and your back. I came close to, but not close enough, but it wore me out. So what was it? Did you at least make 900? That, I mean, and if it was, so what was that? 6 to midnight. I mean, that was a really long day. I don't doubt that it wore you out. I mean, just thinking about how many hours that was. I mean, I'm sure it takes a toll on you mentally as well. I know there are a lot of times we're like, okay, this is our last one. And before we turn off the apps, another offer would pop up and we're like, oh, this is a good one. Let's take it. Okay, this will be our last one. And then, it repeats. Next, we're working another hour. But I was kind of watching. I was able to pop in to watch Hybrid Hustle's video earlier today, and he was talking about the gig wars, and the toll that it took on him, not just physically, but mentally. Yeah, I definitely can see that. I mean, I don't think I can totally relate because of, it was what, 3 days? No, how long was that? But yeah, so that's, we'll just round that up to $900. But so that is amazing. I mean, I've seen other gig tubers out there talking about trying to make they have a challenge to make $700 in, one day. So that was an entire week that was devoted for the gig war. So I don't doubt that can also take a toll on you mentally. Not only did he share, I mean, for many of us that are in the watching this, who's gone to watch some of the gig wars, the times that I've gone to support the channel was really when I had the time. And I can see just the driving around. So Yours was only 3 days. Oh, no. Okay. So yours was only 3 days, but your goal was still to try and make 1,000. Was that the? Because even so, in 3 days, for those long hours, that's still a pretty hefty goal to make in 3 days. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but there are times which those are the reminders about what makes this worth it when you get shifts, that are pretty consistent on giving you some really nice offers. Super Bowl weekend. Oh, that's right, Super Bowl. So that is right. And I think was it? Yeah, we did briefly work on Super Bowl during Super Bowl. That was the day that was the worst. I think it was Uber Eats. It was the worst experience that I had with that and the wait time. I think for that one there, and it was at a restaurant that was, notorious for extended wait times. But that night it was just horrible. Um, I was there maybe 5 minutes shy of an hour. I'm right there with you on that, Maverick. I mean, although my husband and I, that's actually going to be our goal for we take our weekend trip for our anniversary towards the end of the month. The week or so prior to our trip, that is our goal, is to pretty much work 7, 8 days straight to try and make as much money as we can. I just said that and my husband is glaring at me. But to make as much money as we can to make up for the days that we won't be working. Hey, Becca, what did you say your business was going to be called for your landscaping? If you're still there. Okay, so I don't know if she's there. She could be multitasking. That's okay. I do that too when I support fellow gig drivers, videos or lives. Nice. That is awesome. That is totally awesome. Do you already have any clients lined up? Do you have any? Do you know anybody in the Georgetown area? My husband keeps laughing at me when I keep doing that. Wow, that's fantastic. That's always fantastic to get clients already lined up before you start a business. Nothing wrong with that, because that's the thing that will keep you busy. So anybody have any big plans for Mother's Day this weekend? In my family, there are, let's see, me, my mom, my eldest daughter, a bear wrangler. What do you mean? I mean, literally, a literal bear wrangler. So what was I saying? Me, my mom, my eldest daughter, my oldest sister, my third oldest sister. Um, hmm, there's, yeah, there's quite a few of us in the family that is in the local area that will be getting together for Mother's Day this weekend. And it's not always the case. It just when we got to treat ourselves, but it's one of the places my mom loves to go to. So it's become almost like a once to twice a year tradition for her birthday. And sometimes for Mother's Day, we go to a restaurant there in Killeen called Yank Sing. I mean, I like it. This restaurant used to be called this was years ago, back in the 80s and 90s. It was called Luby's. I don't know if you guys ever, you guys are familiar with Luby's? But yeah, that used to be a Luby's. And the only other Luby's that I know of, it's like a cafeteria. So it's almost like a buffet, with the exception of that you don't serve yourself. They like a cafeteria. You've got the people on the other side that are actually serving it. Yes, we missed you. I mean, and I liked going to Luby's. I mean, Luby's is a place, I'm sure my husband wouldn't mind doing that one. He's not big on buffets, but because, with the fact that you have everybody and their kids digging into the food, but with Luby's and the cafeteria style, it's, being served by the employees. I chased a bear. That's what Mav is talking about. I was all you can eat. I don't even know when's the last time I went to Luby's. I love the name of your lawn care. It is. I like that. Like I said, I can't wait to see your the flyer for your business. You should change that to put that in the banner of your YouTube page. So that way, if, when you're still doing your YouTube videos and anybody that comes to visit your page, they'll see that the flyer. And what do you mean you chased a bear? What kind of bear? The only time I've seen not counting zoos, we were stationed in Alaska. So sorry, I'm missing out, but I will listen. Thank you, Denise. It was our first base that we were stationed at in Alaska. And on one of our road trips, they've always warned you about moose. You see a moose, you avoid, turn around, whatever you can, because they will charge you. But I mean, they said there was going to be other wildlife, but we came across a little black bear cub on the side of the road. So we kind of stopped at a distance from where the cub was, and we were like slowly being careful. I took out the camcorder. Yes, camcorder. That was back in the day. That was like 2000, I think it was, or 1999. And I pulled out the camcorder, and while I'm recording, I'm still looking around just in case, because if there's a bear cub, there's got to be a mama very close, and we don't need to have the mama bear charging at us. But I have to go check that out then. But a black bear, that, I mean, and I've seen videos on YouTube of, people just looking out in their backyard at their door. Dogs are barking and there's a bear on the other side of the sliding door. Or even the videos of the bears opening the door. I mean, come on. Huh? But did we see any? I only saw the moose on base. Huh? I never saw a bear on base. It was just the moose. Those we came across. I don't remember seeing a bear. I remember we saw, wasn't it a lynx that we saw? Or, right? That was a lynx. But Becca, I have to go check that video out. And you guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure you smash that like button. I appreciate that support if you haven't already done so. And if you haven't seen the video that I just posted earlier today, it showcases my little bell. So that way, whenever I talk about, don't forget to hit that little notification bell. That way you'll know when I go live or post any videos. My sister was the one that had gotten this last year, I believe it was, or no, not last year. When did she get this? No, I think it was the year before. I haven't watched it yet, but thank you. I'll definitely watch after. Thank you. But if you weren't here at the start of the video, pretty much what I plan on doing now moving forward is to go live on Tuesdays, mainly on Tuesdays, because the title of the live will be called Tuesday Talks, and followed by the subject, topic of the day, whatever I can come up with. And also I'll be posting it on the community page, to where I'm going to do a kind of like a poll on the topics to talk about moving forward, because otherwise there is, the biggest topic, of course, is, gig work, the issues, with safety, fraud. Those are the things that I always end up falling back on during my lives. And I can't help it, because safety is a big thing. Fraud is definitely something that needs to be settled, so all the gig workers out there, are able to make as much money as we can. But I won't keep you guys. Tuesday Talk is a good name for the live. Thank you. Yeah, because otherwise, because the other option that I had was to do lives on Wednesdays, and I think it was going to be called Wednesday Wanderings, because we were going to be out doing our gig work. But Tuesday works a lot better for me, and it'll be around this time, about 7:30 Central Time, because we're typically home. We thought we were going to work tonight, but we wanted to enjoy the rest of our day off before we started working for the rest of the week. But Tuesdays, or Mondays is usually our makeup day if we miss a Saturday or a Sunday. But Tuesday, thanks, Becca. And I think like I said, it's hard to trust that the viewer count, because you never know. I mean, it could say 5, but there might only be one person, or there could, it says 9, but there could be 12 people actually watching the live. So whatever you guys do, I'll support. Yes. And I truly, truly appreciate that. You don't know how much. And also, I'm patiently waiting. If you have any updates about that program with the I think it was the tags that you were talking about the other day, that I'm definitely still a go for that. Yeah, because I mean it jumps, sometimes it'll show 2 and the next it shows 12. And then, when I'm watching other people's lives, it's the same thing. Sometimes it drops down to, it'll say 13 and then it fluctuates, it'll jump up to like 20 something. That is awesome. I'm excited for that. I am currently sitting at 319 on my subscribers, and I'm still, every time I see that number go up, I'm just like, yay. So I still got a ways to go just to get over to achieve that first tier. And it's the same thing with my watch hours, which is one of the reasons why I'm implementing going live at least once a week for a scheduled live. And then you still might find that, I'll go live at random throughout the week towards the end of our shift, because that's typically when one of our phones will become available for me to be able to do a live while we're still out working. But I'm just hoping to continue, especially for those of you guys that are still working on your channels as well, or for those of us that are so lucky that we've already made it over that hump and the channel has been monetized. Sheila, I gotta ring this for you. Sorry, I know I did that right next to the microphone. Sorry. But I'm just trying to come up with other ideas too. And that's why I do visit a lot of some of my favorite gig tubers out there. You know who you are, to follow their lead. And hopefully, within the next month, I'm really, really, really hoping that by the end of this month that I will reach the 500 subscribers by the end of this month, because I'm trying to give it, a heavy push, by doing lives and making sure that I get 1 to 2 uploads on videos, whether it be nothing but the long form or combination of the long and the short. Really? I thought at your level, your first tier of being able to be somewhat monetized is getting the 500 subs and getting at least, in addition to that, the 3,000 watch hours, because I believe it's at that point that you can start, utilizing some of the other programs. I mean, yeah, I don't think you are fully monetized until you hit the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours to get everything available to you. But I thought that you would still have access to some of the smaller programs to start receiving, money. Yeah, I still need. Yes, the first 2 years monetized. I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, and I know, you've already definitely hit the mark with your subs. Fantastic. And I will try and keep supporting you and, popping in when I can to do, to be there during your lives and then to watch your shorts, just so you can get, or any of your posted long video, to support your channel as well. Of course, and I appreciate you too, with the shout outs. Definitely appreciate that. But I just want to thank you guys so much for being here, supporting my channel, supporting my husband and I. I know it says Gig Life. Every now and then I want to change it, to the Gig Life Duo, but it's not always going to be my husband and I working together. But the more part just includes anything else, because I do cooking, Most of the time it's showcasing, food from, growing up and everything, which I do still have. I do have some videos, in case you're looking at ideas to try something different. I do have cooking videos that showcases food from Guam, but that's why you see the and more part. Because even though the most of what you'll see of what my channel is about is gig life, it will encompass other things, the traveling, the cooking, crafting, things like that. But I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting me, supporting my husband. And like I said, I'm going to work really, really hard to try and get the 500 subs by the end of this month. And y'all's support is truly and always appreciated. Yes, there's dessert, there's a side, there's a main dish in there. Yeah, and I will be doing a cooking video sometime soon too to add to it. But yes, it should be under the tab for cooking on my channel. But again, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell also. Yes, I love ringing that bell. Speaking of which, I have a list of all of you all I have to share. I'll advertise. Yes. Thank you, Becca. Advertise away. And if you need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is also in, I like it too. My email is in my profile. And you can reach out to me that way. But y'all stay safe out there, especially if anybody is out there still doing gig work. Stay safe, make that money, but make sure you make it home safely. So until next time, y'all have a good night. Adios for now. Bye. Have a good night. Enjoyed hanging out with you. Your channel will blow up. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Bye, everyone. There's my husband saying bye. Have a good night. You guys might see another live probably Friday night or something like that after our shift. But bye.